And another one. What's up, guys? Welcome to the line change. Don't worry, this is the last video for the day. I'm surprised I've made it this long, considering I've hardly gotten any sleep. But in this last video of the day, we're gonna continue left in the last video in regards to the trade deadline, as I found another article that tells us a little bit more about what exactly the Canucks did and who they potentially pursued on deadline day. This article is coming to us from the Daily Hive, written by Rob the Hockey Guy, Rob Williams. So we're going to check this out, and the article's title, I will also link the article in the description down below, is titled, Vancouver Canucks Tried to Trade for Quinn Hughes' Best Friend. Now, those of you that have watched a previous video talking about this individual, you know who I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and read. The Vancouver Canucks are in the market for a center, and they apparently tried to acquire a player with close ties to Quinn Hughes. A trade deadline deal between the Ottawa Senators and Buffalo Sabres today saw, well, not today, but the date of this article saw Josh Norris and Dylan Cousins switch teams. The Canucks were reportedly interested in both centers, but the interest in Norris is especially intriguing given his relationship to Hughes. Hughes has described Norris as his best friend. And then this is quoting Quinn Hughes. He's my best friend and we're really tight. He lives 20 minutes from me and we pretty much see each other every weekend in the summer. Hughes told Postmedia's Ben Kuzma in 2021. Hughes and Norris were teammates for 4 straight seasons before turning pro, first with USA hockey development teams, then at the University of Michigan. And then this is another quote, this time from Darren Dreger of TSN. Vancouver was keenly interested in Josh Norris, Darren Dreger said on TSN's trade deadline coverage the day of this article. And then there's a tweet from Adam Lascaris saying on TSN earlier this morning, Pierre LeBrun linked the Canucks, Flames, and Canadians as previously interested on Dylan Cousins. Meanwhile, Darren Dreger added Vancouver was keenly interested in Josh Norris. The article continues, longtime Senators beat writer Bruce Garriock added on TSN that the Canucks went well down the road with Ottawa in an attempt to trade for Norris. It's easy to understand why, beyond the Hughes friendship. Norris is a talented 6'2" center who could help fill the void left by the departed JT Miller. 25-year-old has 33 points, including 20 goals in 53 games with the Sens this season. Norris's career season came in 2021-2022, when he scored 35 goals and 55 points in 66 games. This could be a franchise-altering day for the Canucks. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. Ahead of the NHL's trade deadline at noon, the biggest name Vancouver is expected to trade is Brock Besser. Didn't happen. But they're apparently also listening to offers on Elias Pettersson. That didn't happen either. Stay tuned. Again, this is a little outdated article. Obviously, it's from March 7th. It's from the day of the trade deadline. But I wanted to go over this article as it shows you that the Canucks were trying to add to their lineup, and they just weren't able to get a deal done for Josh Norris. Perhaps Buffalo beat them to it, and maybe there was a stalemate between the Canucks and the Senators on what the Senators wanted from the Canucks in return for Norris. Like, the Senators could have wanted someone like Lekaramäki, Willander, or even Elias Pettersson, DPD. And the Canucks had made it known they were not willing to part with those assets. So those were automatically off the table. Yes, you could question if Brock Besser would have gotten you Josh Norris, or even if P.S. Suter would have gotten you Josh Norris and maybe a draft pick or 2 or 3 or however many. But obviously it didn't happen. I am curious about this quote that says the Canucks went well down the road. What exactly is well down the road? Like, was there an offer from the Canucks? Was there an offer from the Senators? Who knows? But I wanted to quickly do this last video and talk about this because we did speak about Josh Norris way back when this channel kind of first started, like gaining its footing. We briefly mentioned Josh Norris as a potential target, as well as Jared McCann, and we kind of weighed which one would be cheaper. Obviously, we ended up saying that Jared McCann was a lot cheaper because Norris has a 5-year contract and he was more expensive than Jared McCann. So obviously back then I immediately picked McCann as the easier of the two, but obviously the Canucks had a lot of interest in Josh Norris. I did mention in our official trade deadline discussion that I was pretty pissed about Buffalo getting Norris and the potential for the Canucks not being able to get him now, as Buffalo may not want to part ways with him. I believe it was in his first game with Buffalo, he ended up scoring, which seems to be happening a lot lately. Players moving to different teams and then immediately putting up points or scoring a goal. Carson Soucy was another one who, his first game with the Rangers, scored a goal. And he scored 2 in 53 games with the Canucks. So yeah, there's that. Maybe the Canucks might take another crack at Norris in the offseason. It all depends on what Buffalo wants to do. As I mentioned in that trade deadline discussion video, I would think Buffalo would not want to part ways with him after shelling out Dylan Cousins and everything that they paid to acquire Norris. They wouldn't want to just turn around and flip him to a team like the Canucks or any team for them. So I wanted to cover this. It's a great article from Rob Williams, and obviously there is that factor with Quinn Hughes and Josh Norris, and it makes you wonder if the Canucks were able to get an offer on the table to Ottawa that interested them. Do you think Quinn Hughes may have played a bit of a role in convincing Josh Norris to come to Vancouver? That we won't know, at least in the foreseeable future. That's going to do it for this video. If you like this video, go ahead and click that like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Not only do you really help out the channel, but it affords you the chance to keep up to date on all of the content here on the Line Change. Also, if you hit that little bell, you get notified every time we post a new video. And in the coming days, I'm going to be putting up a few videos. I have a few videos in the pipeline that I'm waiting to do tomorrow. And one of them in particular is we're going to take a bit of a look back at the Canucks and some of their best lines that they've had over the years. I'm talking West Coast Express. I'm talking about the Lotto line. I'm talking about Bure, Linden. We're going to go over that. We're going to go over those lines. Sedin's, Burrows line. We're going to talk about that. I think that's going to be a real good video. Just a little revisit of the past for the Canucks. And I'm going to give obviously my 2 cents on it and my opinion on where, who knows, maybe we'll do a little ranking of which lines have been the very best for the Vancouver Canucks. And we're also going to talk about the future of the Canucks blue line with the emergence of Victor Mancini, Elias Pettersson, as well as Tom Willander and his development and his potential for either suiting up in one of the final games of the season or even being a regular on the roster next season. So that's going to do it for this video. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.